Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and in this video, I want to talk to you about buying an old home in Tampa, Florida. So I'm a contractor in the Tampa Bay area, and if you're looking to buy an old home, let's say you're looking in Seminole Heights. That's a great neighborhood. I love the neighborhood. It's awesome. They've got some, they've got some beautiful old homes there. Here is the simple message that I want to give you in this video about buying an old home in Tampa, especially like somewhere in like the Seminole Heights area, is when you're going to view the home, when you're having it inspected, when you're actually touring it and kind of seeing what it's all about, you need to be looking for, okay, what are the hidden defects in this home? And I don't mean to be negative. This is not a video to be negative. This is a video about how to be smart about buying a home, an old home in Tampa. Because personally, I've owned multiple old homes in Tampa. I've owned one in Ybor. I've owned one in I think it's actually like the Bush Boulevard area. I've also renovated a couple in Seminole Heights. And so I've dealt with a lot of different old homes in Tampa. So here's the things to look for. Like I said, things that are hidden defects. If at all possible, you need to get up underneath that house. An old home in Tampa is probably going to have a wood subfloor. If it doesn't, if it has a concrete floor, I would almost, not quite this, but I would almost say buy it blindly. Don't go too crazy, obviously, but I would almost say buy it blindly, because that's so rare to find an old home in Tampa that actually has a concrete floor. If you find that, that is a freaking gold mine, because it's going to require so much less in repairs. Realize that if you're buying an old house, you're buying a repair mill. Basically, you're just going to be repairing that thing 24/7. It's just the reality of having an old, beautiful, historic home in an area like Tampa. So if you find one with a concrete floor, boom, you should just go for it. Most of them are going to have wood floors. You need to get up underneath that wood floor so that you can look for a couple things. One, you're probably going to find that it's sitting, the whole house is just held up on cinder blocks that are just sitting on the dirt. No concrete down there, no straps, no nothing. It's literally just sitting on a bunch of cinder blocks. So that's the first thing you need to look at. Now, many homes have stood for hundreds of years like that, and it's not a big deal, but it's a negotiation point for you, and it could become a problem in the future. So it's something you got to look at. The other thing is the wiring. I've seen a lot of these homes where the panel maybe is new, but there's still many of the old fixtures that still have cloth wiring going to them. There's outlets that don't have the third little prong for the ground wire to go in. There can be lots of little tricky little things in the electrical. So simply going to 5 random outlets and taking the cover plate off and unscrewing the outlet and pulling it out, don't zap yourself, and looking to see, okay, is that copper wire? Is it aluminum wire? Or is it cloth bound wire? And could be different things. That's something to look for. And then the last thing is, does it have plaster walls or does it have drywall walls? Now, having plaster walls is actually not a huge negative for me. It's actually a bit of a plus point. And to put it simply, if it's old enough to have plaster walls and it's still in good condition, that house is going to be built like, pardon my French, a brick shit house. That thing is going to be beefy. Those old plaster walls are 3 times the thickness of typical 1/2 inch row. They're like 1.5 inches thick. That means that house is not only being supported by its load-bearing walls, but also the plaster that goes on those walls is, although it's not considered a structural element, trust me, I've demoed it, it's structural. It's actually helping to hold the house up, and it's actually holding the house in place as well. So plaster walls for me are actually a big plus. If it has drywall, it means that there's a lot of renovations that have been done to it, and there's a potential that they haven't been actually done up to building code. So that's the other thing, is if you find drywall walls in an old home, you want to look and see whether the renovations were done with a permit or not. If they weren't, it doesn't mean it's a bad deal, but if they weren't, I would start, that's a string. I would start pulling on it. I would be like, and pull out what actually happened. If they were done with a permit, that's freaking amazing. That's good. That means that a lot of the house has probably been upgraded to current or recent building code, which is going to be a huge improvement over how it was originally built. So there's a little mini field guide on buying an old home in Tampa and the considerations that I would have. Now, if you're also looking in, maybe you're looking in St. Pete or Clearwater, like kind of one of those historic areas, or maybe you're up in Pasco and Old Newport Richey or something, or Dade City. If you need help with a renovation to an old home that you're buying, or if you want to have a contractor's inspection before you buy the home, those are things that we furnish and are happy to help you with. If you're interested in that, just go to homelove.construction. And if you're not owning the home yet, or you're looking to do a design or something like that, you go to homelove.construction, just fill out a contact form or call our office. The other option that you can do is if you bought an old home and you're looking to do a major renovation to it, you can go to homelove.construction/design, and we can actually do a whole 3D beautiful design, including all the architectural stuff and the code, bring it up to code, and all the interior design selections and furniture and stuff like that. We can do all of that for you. That's at homelove.construction/design. If you go there, you're going to see videos of what we've done in the past. You're going to see examples. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun too. So I'd highly recommend that if you are looking at doing a renovation to your old home or your new home. That said, if this video got you some value, like if you got something out of this video, hit the subscribe button below. It does help me out a lot. The more people that are subscribed, the more people we can reach, the more projects we wind up doing, and then we come back and we teach people what we learned while doing those projects. So hit the subscribe button below. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.